this hearing to order. You hear okay? As a reminder for everybody, please silence or turn off your cell phones to not disturb today's hearings. That would be great. My name is Monica Schmucker. I'm the appointed special magistrate to hear today's code enforcement proceedings as provided for in Chapter 2, Article 5 of the Fort Myers Beach Land Development Code and Florida Statutes Chapter 162. First item on the agenda is approval of the minutes. They were posted and I reviewed them electronically, and I will sign them and get those to you. Okay, the minutes are approved. Next, we'll hear the cases that are on the agenda, and we will hear those in the order in which they appear. Unless we need to make any changes at this time, is there any reason to change the order? No. These are quasi-judicial hearings, which means that they're similar to cases in court. However, the rules are less formal. Formal rules of evidence do not apply. The fundamental due process will apply and govern the proceedings. I'll listen to the facts and evidence before me and apply them to the applicable law. In all cases, the town has the burden of proof and will present the case first. The respondent, can you hear me okay? Yeah. The respondent will have the opportunity to speak, present evidence, and refute the town's allegations. All parties who are here on a case to speak will have the opportunity to do so. At the conclusion of each case or within 15 days, I will issue an order with findings of fact, conclusions of law, and affording the proper relief consistent with court of law. At this time, I'd like to ask everybody who's here to provide testimony to please stand up, raise your right hand for the taking of the oath. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. We can proceed to the cases, and first on the agenda we have status of compliance hearings. The first one is case number 2024-073, property owners Christopher Robertson and Shannon Robertson. Okay. Do we have an officer from the town here? Perhaps you can pull up the chair to the end there, just so that we have a microphone close to you.
Sure.
If that works. Okay, good. Okay, we are here for a status of compliance hearing, order that was entered June? Yes, June 6, 2025, had a substantial compliance date by July 6, 2025. Does the town have an update on status of compliance?
An inspection was completed on August 28, 2025. The property is pretty much in the same condition, and there are still issues with permitting. So the property is not in compliance yet.
Has there been any steps towards compliance?
For a while, the property owners were talking to me, and they were trying to apply, and then basically they've gone through permitting, and I think there's still quite a few issues.
Okay.
So there still aren't permits that have been approved for the.
Just something's approved?
Pardon me?
Something was approved?
Okay.
No, I said nothing
Okay,
has nothing has been approved yet. I believe that they've turned in some paperwork, but the permitting department and the town of Fort Myers Beach has not approved any permits for the work that has been completed. So they're still in non-compliance.
Okay. Respondent?
Hey, Jeannie.
Sure.
Jeannie.
Somebody's talking.
Terry, can you identify yourself for the record?
Who, me?
No.
Oh.
Sorry. Terry White, town of Fort Myers Beach Code Compliance. I've worked here for a little over a year.
Okay, thank you. Respondents?
Yeah, everything that,
So, for the purposes of the record, go ahead and identify yourself.
oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Chris Robertson, 4855 Dolphin Lane. Everything is complete. I was given this list by the city and went over it numerous times with the office right next door. The last two things, I emailed her pictures to show that it was complete, which includes I had to go down to the county and record, this is the receipt, where I recorded the acknowledgement of the floodplain regulations, that's all done. And then the flooding vents that were the last thing to do, I sent pictures to Terry, an email to Terry. That was the last thing to do, that has been done. It's all complete, everything on this list.
Okay. Are those exhibits that you want to show me?
Sure.
I didn't hear.
Do you want to give her the exhibits?
Oh, yeah. If I can get a copy of it, that would be awesome.
Before you do that, could you show that to the officer?
Yeah.
Sure.
That's the recorded from the
Yeah.
county. That was for this form here, which is the floodplain, so that's all done. The pictures of the flood vents that were installed, which is listed on this from the city. I've got pictures on my phone of that.
That, and then we hired someone to do, there's a permit pending for the siding to be finished. We've
We're
hired
not worried
somebody.
about the
I know, but
siding, I know.
I know she said it doesn't look any different, but we
Well, yeah.
hired somebody, so that permit should be in. The company we hired put a permit in for our siding.
Are you Shannon
I am Shannon.
Robertson?
That's me.
Thank you. Okay, you showed it to her, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know that we have capabilities of doing copies.
Yeah. You should have copies of all this. That's probably the only thing you don't have a copy for, but that goes with that. Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
Okay.
Hang on, we'll return back to the file.
That's for her. Or you need another one? Okay.
Yeah, we'll make copies after the hearing and give these to you.
So
Can we do it on our way out and leave them in there for use? So, I mean, I'd love to stay for the whole thing.
Okay.
I just want to state that we have been trying to get everything done. We've called FEMA numerous times, and Lee County, and every time they do, they refer us back to a particular person in the city who I've emailed and called endless amounts of times, but have only got one reply, which was very vague. And then been working with the lady that, I forget her name, begins with a G, I think, that works next door here, who's been very helpful.
Okay, I guess this question is for the town. What specifically needs to be done in order, my understanding of the order was specific to work on the property without permitting, including the lower level enclosure. What specifically is it that was done that needed to be brought into compliance with the permitting?
So I have a copy of a permit that was, it's on hold through the permitting department. It's permit number 2455. It's actually 242455. And it was for the enclosure of the carport from Ian damage. It's on hold. It says that the requesting flood conditions be assigned to one of our flood people. It says hold per flood. We only have an HVAC, the air conditioning permit completed with this property since Ian. I completed my comments, but think we need to hold this until we can complete the substantial damage review and confirm if any unpermitted work has been completed. And that was our previous floodplain manager. So as far as I know, and I printed this morning.
Thank you.
Everything is still on hold because permitting still needs more information. And if we can maybe, can you maybe pull up that property and find out any other information other than what I pulled up this morning?
What
So-
is the information that needs to be, because here, if we are going to, if somebody's in violation and they need to bring something up into compliance, both parties need to work towards this. So
Sure.
what's the hold for? What needs to be done and by whom?
I think it's still all on the town. It sounds like that they've turned in everything that we've asked them to turn in. We just need to do additional review and complete the substantial damage review needs to be done as well. Do you recall if you did a substantial damage paperwork where it lists line for line how much money you've spent on things?
I have done something like that, yeah. It's all in this huge packet of trying to get this approved. Yeah, I'm sure there has been.
If not.
But everything, like I said, everything you've asked me to do on this list, I have done 100%. So if there's something additional, I'm not aware of it, but I mean, I've got so much paperwork on this just one permit, and I have done something similar where you do the itemized out costs for the products used and the labor times. I think it was 17 whatever an hour, so I've done all that. That's been submitted for
Right.
a year.
Because the orders, they have to be in compliance or substantial compliance, right? And so if they're working towards it and they've done what they can do and we're waiting on the town, you can't penalize them if we're just waiting on a review on behalf, from the town. So
I
that's
agree.
my question is, what is it that they need to do? Have they done what they needed to do? And is the whole related to something, like, is it the town that needs to conduct this review? Who does the substantial damage reviews? The town?
Well, if they turn in the paperwork, then we do, the permitting department does the review.
Is the paperwork turned in?
No?
What else are we missing?
I hope so.
So this was 6/4/2025, a information to the property owner. There was a rejection letter stating that the second flood review was denied, and the reasons were,
That's what I got.
okay. Based on the permit history, there is only one complete permit for the air conditioner repair since Hurricane Ian. The owner must file an after-fact permit for any work completed without permits, drywall, garage doors, interior, exterior windows, siding, electric insulation, flooring, cabinetry, water heater, notes on the garage enclosure, floodplain affidavit must be recorded at the clerk's office, which it sounds like you did that.
Yes, yep.
Provide a floor plan or construction documents that detail the location, scope of proposed work. Overhead and project costs must be itemized.
It's all done.
Attach a copy of the 2022 FEMA 50% market value appraisal for the building structures pre-storm. Flood vents are required in all enclosure areas below the designated flood elevation, including breakaway walls. Add specifications and siding calculations for the flood openings on the construction details and state on the plans at the bottom of each flood vent opening can be no more than 1 foot above the final exterior grade under each opening. That says, please note, mailed in or paper plans will not be accepted. Submit all corrected together at one time with the appropriate response cover letter showing that the items can be found and they can be emailed in to resubmit at fortmyersbeachgov.com. And please note that no other reviews will be done until the zoning review is approved. Resubmittals will not be processed until all review comments are addressed. So like I said, everything is still on hold. I don't see that when I printed any of this up that every single one of these line items is included, but if you'd like, I can sit aside with Tracy and we can go through and then give you a specific line item that maybe is required that hasn't been turned in.
When you say it's on hold, what is it on hold for? What are they waiting for? Is it one of those line items? Okay. Why don't you identify what it is?
So we can be specific and,
Because we're gonna need to know exactly what it is that's left so that they can come into compliance and then we can
Sure.
see if it's substantial compliance. If it's one of those items, then that's easy. If it's,
I mean, they've
all
been
of them.
trying, I will say that they've been trying, at least with me, they, for a long time, were very
okay.
open and emailing me and calling me, and then it sort of just got put into permitting because really that's who they had to deal with.
Okay, so yeah, I would like for you to identify what it is specifically that is
Sure.
needed. If you can do that.
Yep, we'll try.
If you can do that today, if you can't, then, you know,
We can do it today.
okay. Then-
Okay, good. Mhm.
So then that's it for that one right now.
Mhm.
If you're able, we could come back to it, and then we'll issue an order accordingly. Otherwise, you know, I'll have to find that they're at least in substantial compliance to this point if they've turned in the paperwork that
Sure.
needs to be done. So go ahead and review it, we'll come back to it, and then I'll issue an order based on what you find.
Okay, yeah, that sounds fair to me.
Just one more comment, I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Geraldine, that's her name. I just remembered, because I remember it was off the Flip Wilson show. That's the woman next door that's been going through, checking off all my stuff. That's her handwriting on this, that she's had copies and copies of stuff of all this, that she was, whatever you do as far as putting it on the computer. So the only two things she didn't have since the last time I talked to Geraldine was the county recorded item and then the flood vents, which I said have been installed.
Right, so for purposes of today's
Yeah,
hearing,
absolutely.
I just need the town to confirm what it is that has been done. And
Sure.
Yeah.
If the town's unable to do it, then I'll just have a finding of substantial compliance, but it won't be closed out because
Yeah.
it won't be full compliance.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
just have to make sure that that gets done and that you stay on it. If you
Yeah.
don't stay on it, then like the next time you come before me, you know,
Yeah,
say,
absolutely.
There's been no progress, but we need to make sure that the town confirms that, at least on your end,
Yeah.
you've done everything you
No.
needed to.
No, that's perfect, that's
And I'll
fine.
just walk over and talk to her and get specifically what,
Okay,
Excellent.
either what is in
Yeah.
review
okay.
or what they haven't turned in that needs to be turned
Because my
in.
determination needs to be whether there's at least substantial compliance to the best of your ability.
Yeah.
That would be my determination. So
Yeah.
if the town can confirm that, then,
Perfect.
okay?
Appreciate it, thank you.
Good. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah,
Oh, thank you.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I'll reach out to you.
Oh, sure,
Okay.
sure. So not
Okay.
today, but
So
soon.
let's call the next case. and
We're
then
good to go
we'll
today.
close that
Oh, yeah,
down.
okay, just want to make sure.
When they
Okay,
come back.
we'll talk to you soon. Thanks.
Today still, yes. Yeah. So if they come back, if not, then I'll have to find. Okay, oh, okay, he's here, all right. So we'll call the next case, we'll put that one on hold, and then we'll call case number 2024-043, Scott Sullivan, property address 190 Bayview Ave. And this is also a status of compliance case. Do we have the town, are you
It's
here
me.
for the town? Okay, could you state your name?
Terry White, Town of Fort Myers Beach Code Compliance.
Thank you. And is Mr. Sullivan here? All right.
I'm here.
Looks like he's here by Zoom. Good morning.
Yes, that's it.
All right,
Hello?
yes, hang on 1 second.
Yes, I'm here by Zoom,
Got it. Can you hear
Yeah,
me
I'm still
okay?
hearing music in the background.
but there's no music here.
Can we mute Andrew?
Hold on.
Andrew, we're gonna go ahead and mute you for now, because there's no music on our end either.
Hello?
Yes.
You still hearing music?
There's no music, no.
Okay. Scott Sullivan's here.
Okay. All right, hang on. All right, so we'll have the town, you can begin. So we're here for a status of compliance. We had, a code enforcement that was issued in June, also June 6, 2025. And the respondent was ordered to work directly with the town to take all necessary steps to correct the violations by July 6th. We have the construction of the wood deck or structure outside the scope of work of the permit, 236648. So the town, can the town report whether there's been substantial compliance?
So the tiki hut, which was part of it, this was the structure. It's actually a tiki hut. That permit is in review, so it looks like he's moving forward and trying to get that either approved, or we may not be able to approve it and then he'd have to remove it. But at this point, at least he's moved forward with that. The decking at the pool, that permit is still expired. So nothing is moved forward with that.
The decking?
Oh, and I did an inspection on August 28th. And I've made an affidavit of noncompliance I guess it would be partial compliance at this point because the tiki hut is still in review. It hasn't been issued. Again, that's on the town's part to keep reviewing it, find out if we can either issue the permit for him to keep it, or we may just tell him that he needs to be removed. It needs to be removed. So half is okay, the other half is not.
What's the other half? You mean the decking?
The decking.
Was the decking put in?
It was, but it's been a long time.
And that's expired, the permit.
Correct.
So there was initially applied for, but then expired? Okay. So are those the two issues then remaining would be the tiki hut, which I do recall that, and then the decking?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Mr. Sullivan, response?
Yes, both of those, all I can say is this has been a long drawn out. I'm sorry, Your Honor. This has been a challenge, and the permits, we've had those permits sitting in an email multiple times in the city's office. I've personally been down to the city. I've been to the city. I went over to the. I've been over probably to the Park District office 3 or 4 times. I've made multiple phone calls, left multiple voicemail, or attempted to make multiple voicemails to try and get some of this stuff rectified. And in fact, the last time I was with you folks, I think it was in July, I had promised, and I was thinking that I could get this done. I would get a survey done, which is what you asked. And I will tell you, I called and called and called and left emails and left emails and left emails to, I'm guessing, about 4 or 5 different survey companies, and was unable to get anything done. The original survey people, I finally got a hold of after probably 10 or 15 calls. Gail finally called me back, and she told me that they're not even taking anything, they're not even going to do or taking any places to survey until after September. So my last conversation with her was to call her September 15th and try and set up a time when they would start doing a survey. Now, along with that, I think it was July 28th, maybe it was August, it was July 27th, 28th. I was trying to send emails even to the control officer, and I don't know if I had the wrong email, I don't know, but I eventually finally got a hold of somebody from the city. I was finally able to send a copy or letters to the city, emails to the city saying, hey, look, this is what was going on. We've not been able to, this is what happened. I named the survey company, and so that is the reason why I haven't been able to get anything done with the surveys. Now, the permits have all been put in. I know that there's a gal by the name of, I can't tell you Jennifer's last name, but she works for Night Solutions and Night Creations. And she has been, I know she's been down to the office. I know that she has talked to somebody from the city. I think it was 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago now. And they said, oh yeah, we've got all the permits, we've got everything here. Don't know why it hasn't been approved yet. I don't understand. And then that was 1 week, and the next week Jennifer went to follow up, and the gal is gone. And so I don't understand the permitting. That's Night Construction. They're the ones that were supposed to be doing the permitting. I know I was trying to take over, but I know Jennifer has been working, because she texted me and said, look, I'm doing this. In fact, we had we were notified we were supposed to do something with the shell rock, that we needed a permit. Now, there's nowhere in the city that we know of in the city that says for shell rock you have to have a permit. So we didn't know that, and I get it. Knowledge is, the lack of knowledge is one thing, but there's nothing in the code book that says you have to have anything for shell rock, because it's a permittable where it's, you know, it flows in, flows out, so we thought that was okay. But you got the permit, you got that one, but even, I think it was last week, maybe it was the week before, you sent back a notice saying there was a problem with it. So I know there's communications going back and forth there. I don't quite understand why we're not getting permits taken care of. But on the survey, it's been a challenge, and I'm sorry. It's not that we're not trying to get this thing, because if it's a pain for you, it's a bigger pain for me. And I'd really like to get it satisfied, figure out what we have to do. If we have to tear the tiki hut down, if you want me to take the damn decking down, I'll do it. I'm sick of this. I am. I'm sick of it. I'm frustrated. And I'm ready to throw in the towel. You tell me what you want to do. What I'd like to do is ask for a continuance again, if possible. If not, I don't know. I'm as frustrated as the city. And I know you folks are under the gun because of what's going on with the FEMA. So I understand you guys being fussy. I understand I understand the rules. I read about it in the newspaper. I hear it on the radio. So I get it.
Okay, so we have two things. We have the tiki hut, which is in review, okay? And then the other is a raised wood deck. Is that the one we're talking about?
Yes, it's all one structure, man.
Is the raised wood?
It's all one structure.
Is the
It's not a tiki hut and then a deck. It's the deck. It was a deck and tiki hut, and it was all put up at the same time. It was all applied for at the same time. And then I believe the city asked for us to put, because for whatever reason they decided that they needed 2 permits, which is okay. So I believe we put in another permit, but it was all applied for at the same time.
Okay, Mr. Sullivan, I'm going to ask the town a couple questions, okay?
Sure.
Okay. Is the raised deck out beyond the tiki?
It says scope of work tiki hut.
Okay. Well, you said that there was an expired permit for the deck?
It's for the pool and the decking renovations. But there's nothing in here associated with the tiki hut for
Right.
decking.
So is it one permit that they need just for the tiki hut outside of the pool?
Which they have the tiki hut permit. It's still in review. That's the
Right,
one
no,
that's in review.
I understand. Are we talking about, are there 3 total permits or 2 total permits?
He's got several actually, but what we're talking about today is the expired pool and decking renovations, and then the tiki hut with the wooden decking around it, which is not, either the town has told him he needs to apply for a separate permit, or he could associate it with the tiki hut, but it's not.
You're talking about the wood deck
Yeah.
surrounding, okay, that's what I'm talking about. The wood deck surrounding the tiki hut is a separate permit from the tiki hut structure itself, is that correct?
Well, it sounds like the town has told him he needs either a separate permit for it. Is that correct, sir? I'm not quite sure.
Well, I get confused, to be real honest with you, ma'am, because we applied for it at the same time. It's all one unit. It's all one structure. There's a 40, I think it's a 42 or 38-inch deck. It's a raised deck. And then the tiki hut sits on top of that raised deck. So you go up 3 steps, I think it is, and you have a deck, and then the tiki hut, there's a tiki bar underneath the tiki hut. So it's all one structure.
So in order for me to know whether that he's working towards compliance, I need to know what it is that the town needs.
Okay.
Okay, so if that wooden decking is a separate permit from the tiki, we need to know that.
Sure.
If it's not, then it would be included with the tiki structure.
In my opinion, it would probably be easier for him to include it in with the tiki hut, but at this point, he has not included it in with the tiki hut. He does have an expired permit for the pool and the decking renovations.
But that's not what we're here
No,
for.
it's not.
Okay, so So I don't.
We
let's
won't
not
talk
get
about that one.
confused.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a separate issue, but right now, we have a tiki hut, which either he's gonna have to remove it, or the permit's gonna go through. He's
Yep.
done what he needed to get you that, for you to make that decision. And then we have the decking, which is the flooring around it, which you're saying is not included in that
It
permit.
is not.
And it needs to be included in that permit, or a separate permit needs to be pulled. Is that correct?
Correct, yes.
Okay, Mr. Sullivan, are you understanding that?
So the way I understand this, right now, it either needs to be included in a new permit, tiki hut, and decking, all one permit. Is that what you want? Is that, you want a new permit that includes it? Or do you want a permit, two permits?
I think it would be easier to do a revision to your tiki hut permit, since you
Oh,
already have
okay.
your tiki hut moving forward.
Revision to tiki hut, okay?
Yeah, and so 8/19/2025, we have a storm review. It's under review right now. Everything else has gone through and looks like it's okay. So I think if you do a revision to add the decking, it might be easier for you rather than to start all over again.
Okay, we'll do that. We'll revise the tiki, or the original, the one that's expired.
Well, and I apologize that there are no notes on the permitting for the tiki hut other than August 19th, which shows it's in review, and all it says is tiki hut. So any other?
Oh, I think I'm guessing when they did that, they probably, assumed, it has to, I mean, I had the drawings done, so it has to show up on the drawings, and I know I've seen those drawings. And I know you have a copy of, someone at the city has copies of those drawings, because I know we've sent them there several times.
Okay, okay,
So I know I know those drawings are all there, and the tiki hut is shown on the deal. In fact, one of the things we did is, when I first met with the city, the original guy, we had this drawn out, he had us actually cut the tiki hut back, I think 2 or 3 feet, because he felt that it overhung the property too far. And so we gladly did that. It was not a big deal. And so that we redid that on the same sheet of paper, just changed it, and then would have reapplied.
okay. So the permit is in review. Do you know whether or not the decking is included?
It's not included or
No,
it's
it's
written
not
on
included.
here.
Okay.
Are you asking the city or Scott?
I'm asking the city, or the town. Okay. You know it's not, okay. All right, Mr.
Okay, so I need to include it.
You need to do whatever needs to be done to get a permit for everything.
Okay.
Would you like me to contact permitting just one more time?
Yes.
And what we can do is, I have his email address because I contacted him last time several times of everything that he needed. We can get it once and for all. Do we need a separate permit for the decking, or do we need to do a revision to the tiki hut? And once and for all, we'll get a final answer from permitting to make it easier on everyone, and we'll go forward from there.
Revision, okay.
Okay, yeah,
All right.
and I think, if he's already turned in everything he needs for the tiki hut, then we're good on that, and then we'll see what the decision is from the town on that. So he's done what he needed to do on that, and now it's the decking that we need to contend with.
And the
Okay.
rocks that he was talking about is
That's a separate issue,
code
that's
case.
not before me.
No, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, that's it for that one. Take it under advisement, we'll see what. Okay. Thank you. All right, thank you, Mr. Sullivan.
Thank you.
I'll be here.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
But I'm here all
I guess. Well, as long as they're for Okay, we're going to move on now to the violation cases. We have case number 2025-0119, Mary Cummins, Stephen Driscoll, property address 280 Fairweather Lane. Do we have a respondent here for this? The town, who's here for the town? Thank you.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. You want to take us to the All right. You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning, Your Honor. My name is Officer T. Hoffman. I'm a code officer for the town of Fort Myers Beach. I work for the town as of May 13th, 2024. I've been sworn in and will be providing testimony and documentation for case 2025-0119. The documentation is attached to the agenda as exhibits, as we ask that all documents be accepted into evidence.
The documents that were submitted, that were, yes, electronically submitted, can be admitted.
The subject property is located at 280 Fairweather Lane, Fort Myers Beach, Florida, 33931. Exhibit A contains the notice of hearing sent on August 20th, 2025, affidavit of notice and posting, copy of certified mail, and photos of hearing posted on August 20th, 2025 on site. Notice of hearing was posted to Town Hall on August 20th, 2025. The documentation that the respondents Cummings Mary K., Driscoll Stevens S. own the real property that is the subject of this code enforcement case. Included in Exhibit A is a copy of the Lee County Property Appraiser and a copy of the property tax statement from Lee County Tax Collector. These records demonstrate that notice was provided to the property owner. Please accept this into evidence.
Accepted, yes.
Thank you. Exhibit B contains notice of violation prepared on 2/11/2025. On February 11th, 2025, Code Officer T. Hoffman observed Cummings Mark K., Driscoll Stevens S. in violation of Town of Fort Myers Code of Ordinance, Chapter 6-2, amended Section 302.8 for the vehicle on property Silver Ford F-150 Ohio tag Kilo Juliet Zulu 9425. Registration expired 1/2025, being inoperable or in disrepair. Chapter 6-1, Section 303.1, and Chapter 6-1, Section 303.2 for the pool on property not being properly secured and containing stagnant water causing a safety concern to the general public. LDC Section 6-1, adopting IPMC Section 302.10 as amended, storage for the chairs, fencing, stucco, and other miscellaneous items throughout the property not being properly stored per town code requirements, and Section 110.1 for the overall structure on property being in disrepair, causing safety and concerns to the general public. True and accurate copies of the pictures taken on the date of first site inspection, February 11th, 2025. The notice of violation was sent certified mail on February 12th, 2025. Affidavit of notice of violation and posting, copy of certified mail receipt, return certified mail, and photos of the notice of violation posting on site on February 12th, 2025, and in the town hall book. Please accept this into record.
Yes. Oh, this one?
No, this should already been what was submitted
As,
as Exhibit B.
yes. Yes, that's been accepted. All right. No, that's what I was reading. Yes.
Exhibit C contains an affidavit of noncompliance and photos. I performed a reinspection of the property on August 18th, 2025, and the subject property was still in violation of the Town of Fort Myers Beach ordinances. In preparation for the affidavit of noncompliance, I performed a reinspection of the property on August 18th, 2025, and all violations previously explained in detail in Exhibit B continue. Due to the multiple violations remaining on this property, which continue to represent a safety concern to the general public, and the time passed from the initial notice of violation being prepared on 2/11/2025 with no progress towards compliance on the part of the respondent, Cummings Mary K., Driscoll Stephen S., the town asks that you take this into consideration when making a ruling on this case. Exhibit D contains the Town of Fort Myers Code sections in violation. Chapter 6-2 amended, Section 302.8, Chapter 6-1, Section 303.1, Chapter 6-1, Section 303.2, LDC, Section 6-1, adopting IPMC, Section 302.10 as amended storage, and Section 110.1. Please accept this into record.
Been accepted, thank you.
You're welcome. Cummings, Mary Kay, and Driscoll Stevens S. were given 30 days to come into compliance within the Town of Fort Myers Beach ordinance, which was on or before March 13th, 2025. Exhibit E, final affidavit of noncompliance. The site inspection was completed again on September 2nd, 2025, and the subject property was still in violation. Please accept this into the record, this affidavit of noncompliance and photos of the inspection. That would be this.
Is that what it is?
You have it?
Do I have to enter this as an exhibit?
Should be Exhibit D.
D.
Or I'm sorry, ma'am. It's Exhibit E.
Yeah, okay. All right. E, right?
E,
The
Exhibit E, yes.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
And this is affidavit from September 2nd.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
Truck is still there?
Truck is still there.
Okay, it's been accepted. Or, yeah, we'll admit the.
Thank you. As a result of the property owner's failure to bring the subject property into full compliance with town code requirements, and based on my sworn testimony and evidence that has been presented to you, including the exhibits within the agenda packet, on behalf of the town of Fort Myers Beach, I ask that an order be issued. The town would like to ask for a finding of violation and to impose an administration fee of $250 to cover the cost of bringing this matter before the special magistrate. Considering the time that has already been extended to come into compliance and the continued risk to the general public until the violations are abated, the town would like to ask for a $250 a day fine be imposed until the violations are abated.
Is that all?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you had, or has the town had any communication with the owner?
To the best of my knowledge, no, Your Honor.
All right, I will issue an order that has them coming into compliance. Let's see what day we put in. Three weeks, September 24th. That way we can see them on the 7th. Does the town have any plans to bring the property into compliance?
I am unaware of that, Your Honor.
Okay. Well, I don't know if the town is requesting that at all, to take the matters into being able to, no, not at this time?
Well, right now we're asking that the owner brings the property into compliance.
No, I understand, but do you have any plans to request that the town bring it into compliance? I mean, being that it's been sitting there, no?
I'm unaware, ma'am.
You just say no?
No.
Not at this time?
Not
Okay.
at this time.
So what I'll do is I'll give them 3 weeks, and then we'll set it for the next hearing, which will be the 7th, right? Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. If at that point they have not come into compliance, it's not been cleaned up, then the fine will start accruing as of the 25th. So if they do not come into compliance on the 24th, the fine will begin to accrue as of the 25th. We will have a hearing set on the 7th to confirm that and enter those, fines. And then we can assess at that time whether the town needs to fix it. Okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
And then we could assess that as a lien on the property if necessary. I'll put that into the order too, because those instructions will be in the order.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, perfect. Is anything, do we need to cover anything else on that one? Is that
No, Your Honor, I think we've covered everything.
perfect? Then let's go to the next case, which is 2025-0067, property owner Starlight Property Investments, 132 Andre Marr Drive. Do we have a respondent here for that? Who wrote it? Someone from the town here on that?
That would be me, Your Honor.
Okay. Take your time.
Okay.
Okay, proceed.
All right, thank you, Mayor. Good morning, Your Honor. My name is Officer T. Hoffman. I'm a code enforcement officer with the town of Fort Myers Beach. I work for the town as of May 13, 2024. I have been sworn in and will be providing testimony and documentation for case number 2025-0067. This documentation is attached to the agenda as exhibits, and we ask that all documents be accepted into evidence.
Exhibits A through D, but I reviewed and they could be admitted. We don't have a respondent, right? I know I asked, but I didn't get an answer. No? Okay, thank you. Go ahead. Yes, A through D will be admitted.
Okay. The subject property is located at 132 Andre Marr Drive, Fort Myers Beach, Florida, 33931. Exhibit A contains the notice of hearing sent on August 20th, 2025, affidavit of notice and posting, copy of certified mail, and photos of hearing posted on August 20th, 2025 on site. Notice of hearing was posted to Town Hall on August 20th, 2025. The documentation that the respondents, Starlight Property Investments, own the property that is the subject of this code enforcement case. Included in Exhibit A is a copy of the Lee County Property Appraiser and a copy of the property tax statement from Lee County Tax Collector. These records demonstrate that notice was provided to the property owner. Please accept this into record.
A is an accepted.
Thank you. Exhibit B contains a notice of violation sent on 1/23/25. On January 23rd, 2025, Code Enforcement Officer T. Hoffman observed Starlight Property Investment in violation of Town of Fort Myers Code of Ordinance 6-1, Section 303.1 and Section 34-1176C1 for the pool on property not being properly secured with proper fencing and containing stagnant water causing a safety concern to the general public. True, accurate, and unaltered copies of violation was sent certified mail on January 23rd, 2025. Affidavit of non-compliance and posting, copy of returned certified mail, and photos of the notice of violation posting on site on January 23rd, 2025, and the town hall book. Please accept in a record.
Is B? Yes, right?
B.
is accepted, yes.
Exhibit C contains an affidavit of non-compliance and photos I performed a re-inspection of the property on August 18th, 2025, and the subject property was still in violation of the Town of Fort Myers Beach Ordinance. In preparation for the affidavit of non-compliance, I performed a re-inspection of the property on August 18th, 2025, and the violations continue for the pool on property not being properly secured with fencing and containing stagnant water causing a safety concern to the general public. The initial notice of violation was issued on January 23rd, 2025 with a 10-day compliance period due to the safety concern of an unsecured pool containing stagnant water to the general public. To the best of my knowledge, to date, no efforts on the part of the respondent, Starlight Property Investments, have been made to contact the Town Code Enforcement Department to discuss the initial violations, and no attempts to correct the violation are visible on property per my last inspection on September 2nd, 2025. The town asks that you take this into consideration when making your ruling on this case. Exhibit D contains the Town of Fort Myers Beach Code sections in violation, Chapter 6-1, Section 303.1, and Section 34-1176C1 for the pool on property not being properly secured with proper fencing and containing stagnant water causing a safety concern to the general public. Starlight Properties Investment was given 10 days to come into compliance with the Town of Fort Myers Beach Ordinance, which was on or before February 2nd, 2025. Exhibit E, affidavit of noncompliance. A site inspection was completed again on September 2nd, 2025, and the subject property was still in violation. Please accept this in the record, this affidavit of noncompliance and photos of the inspection.
Okay, exhibit E is being admitted.
Okay. As a result of the subject property's owner failure to bring the subject property into full compliance with the town code requirements, and based on my sworn testimony and evidence that has been presented to you, including the exhibits within the agenda packet, on behalf of the town of Fort Myers Beach, I ask that an order be issued. The town would like to ask for a finding of violation and to impose an administrative fee of $250 to cover the cost of bringing this matter to special magistrate. Considering the time that has already been extended to come into compliance and the continued risk to the general public until the violations are abated, the town would like to ask for a $250 fine to be imposed until violations are abated. That's all, ma'am.
I will issue an order, we'll do 3 weeks, so the 24th. The fine will automatically start to accrue on the 25th if not in full compliance. Are you aware of the town being in communications with these respondents?
I've had no communication, ma'am.
And we will see you on October 7th to let me know if it was in compliance, and if not, then the fine will have begun to accrue as of the 25th. So they have until the 24th. If it's not done by the 24th, then the fine will accrue as of the 25th.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I'll issue an order to that effect.
That's
For
it?
that, right? That
Thank you, Your
covers
Honor.
everything? Okay, good. So, then move on to F&B case number 2025-0115, Bayview Life Inc., property address 16 Bayview Boulevard. Do we have a respondent for that one? Ready?
Ready?
Okay.
Okay. Good morning, Your Honor. My name is Marshall Chavez. I am a code compliance officer for the town of Fort Myers Beach for a year and 6 years prior with another jurisdiction. I have been sworn in and will be providing testimony and documentation for case number 2025-0115. The documentation is attached to the agenda as exhibits, and we ask that all documents be accepted into evidence.
I have exhibits A through D, which were submitted electronically and reviewed, and those will be admitted. Thank you.
The subject property is located at 16 Bayview Boulevard, Fort Myers Beach, Florida 33931. Exhibit A contains a notice of hearing sent on August 20, 2025. Affidavit of notice and posting, copy of certified mail receipt, and photos of hearing posted on August 20, 2025 on site and town hall. and Town Hall 6231 Estero Boulevard, Fort Myers Beach, Florida. The documentation that the respondents, Bayview Life Inc., own the real property that is the subject of this code enforcement case. Included in Exhibit A is a copy of the Lee County Property Appraiser and copy from the Clerk of Court's tax records showing the property owner.
Can I get you to speak up just a little bit?
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah.
Good.
Just a second, we'll roll the door down.
Okay.
I could speak loud.
Definitely would like for you to speak
All right.
louder, but that's not helpful.
Okay. These records demonstrate that notice was provided to the property owner. Please accept this into the record.
B?
Better?
Yes, that's better. Thank
Okay,
you.
no problem. Exhibit B contains notice of violation sent on March 6, 2025. On March 6, 2025, Court Officer Marcel Chavez observed Bay Life Inc. property owners in violation of the Town of Fort Myers Beach Code Ordinances, Chapter 6-1, Section 303.1. Swimming pools shall be maintained in a clean and sanitary condition and in good repair. Chapter 6-1, Section 303.2, enclosures should be completely surrounded by a fence or barrier. And Section 110.1, to demolish or remove such structure or if such structure is capable of being made safe by repairs to repair and make safe and sanitary. Or to
Hang on one second. Go ahead.
It's gonna get very loud, very.
Okay. Pause.
So everybody knows this side door will get you in and out of this room, so.
So we're not locked in.
Okay. All right, you can proceed. Sorry, thank you.
It's okay. To repair and make safe and sanitary, or to board up and hold for future repair, or to demolish. True, accurate, and altered copies of the pictures taken on the date of the first site inspection, February 28, 2025. The notice of violation was sent certified mail on March 6, 2025. Affidavit of notice of violation and posting, copy of certified mail receipt, and photos of the notice of violation posted on site on March 6, 2025, and on Town Hall. Please accept this into the record.
Yes, B is accepted.
Okay. Exhibit C contains an affidavit of non-compliance and photos. I performed a re-inspection on the subject property on April 16, 2025 after NOV compliance day before hearing, and the subject property was still in violation of the Town of Fort Myers Beach ordinance. Please accept this into the record.
Accepted.
Exhibit D contains the Town of Fort Myers Beach code sections in violation. Chapter 6-1, Section 303.1, Chapter 6-1, Section 303.2, and Section 110.1. Please accept this into the record.
Yes, this is being accepted.
Bayview Life Inc., the property owners were given 10 days to come to compliance with the Town of Fort Myers Beach ordinance, which was on or before March 16, 2025. Okay, continue?
I'm sorry?
Do I continue?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. Exhibit E, final affidavit of non-compliance. A site inspection was completed again on September 2nd, 2025, and the subject property was still in violation. Please accept into the record and this affidavit of non-compliance and photos of the inspection.
C. Exhibit E is admitted.
Okay. As a result of the subject property owner's failure to bring the subject property into full compliance with that ordinances, Chapter 6-1, Section 303.1, swimming pools, Chapter 6-1, Section 303.2, enclosures, and Section 110.1, and based on my sworn testimony and evidence that has been presented to you, including the exhibits within the agenda packet, on behalf of the Town of Fort Myers Beach, I ask that an order be issued.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just an order.
No, an administrative fee of $250, $203. Sorry.
The administrative fee?
Yes, ma'am, sorry.
Okay. incentive?
Sorry?
Are you looking for a finding violation?
Yes.
Okay. Are you seeking fines?
Yes.
Okay. Are you aware the town's been in communication with this property owner?
Yes, I have tried communication. There's no communication on their end.
No communication? Is the property vacant?
I want to say yes, but I never. When I do my inspections, I never see anybody there. But I know someone is doing something to the property because when I post, the post is gone when I go back. So it's vacant. So someone is there, but I have no. They have not reached back at all.
Okay. All right, I will issue an order. I will issue an order to have the property brought into compliance removed in 3 weeks, which is the 24th. If there is, I know that offense might take some time, but at least some sort of a temporary, if it's not brought into compliance by the 24th, then a fine will begin to accrue as of the 25th. And we will do status of compliance, whether it is or isn't in compliance, at a hearing on the 7th. Good?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Did I address everything on that one?
Yes. Yes.
So, okay, all right. That is it for, I do ask that when we do come through a status hearing, that the town is prepared to, you know, one way or another, whether or not it's in compliance and whether or not, you know, there's any progress.
Okay, no problem.
Okay.
Yes.
And I wish, so that's it for that one, right?
Yes.
All right, good. We have next, is D, right? Yes. All right. Case number 2025-0628. Property owner David Reaver, looks like it's a trust for David A. Reaver. Property address 712 Matanzas Court. Do we have a respondent here for this one? Okay. Looks like there's no respondent. All right. Is the town prepared?
I'm sorry?
Proceed?
Yeah, proceed,
Okay,
yes.
Good.
Thank you, okay.
You may go.
Good morning, Your Honor. My name is Marcel Chavez. I am the Code and Compliance Officer for the town of Fort Myers Beach for a year and 6 years prior with another jurisdiction. I have been sworn in and will be providing testimony and documentation for case number 2025-0628. The documentation is attached to the agenda as exhibits, and we ask that all documents be accepted into evidence.
I have reviewed the exhibits A through D, which have been submitted electronically, and they may all be out. Thank you.
Thank you. The subject property is located at 710 Matanzas Court, Fort Myers Beach, Florida 33931. Exhibit A contains a notice of hearing sent on August 20th, 2025, affidavit of notice and posting, copy of certified mail receipt, and photos of hearing posted on August 20th, 2025 on site and town hall, 6231 Estero Boulevard, Fort Myers Beach, Florida. The documentation that the respondents Reverend David A. TR for David A. Weber Trust own the real property that is the subject of this code enforcement case. Included in Exhibit A is a copy of the Lee County Property Appraiser and a copy from the Clerk of Court's tax records showing the property owner. These records demonstrate that notice was provided to the property owner. Please accept it into the record.
A has been accepted.
Okay. Exhibit B contains notice of violation sent on June 18, 2025. On June 18, 2025, Code Officer Marshall Chavez observed Reverend David A. TR for David A. River Trust property owners in violation of the Town of Fort Myers Beach Code Ordinances, Chapter 6-1, Section 303.1, swimming pools shall be maintained in a clean and sanitary condition and in good repair. Section 34-1176, C1, in-ground swimming pools, Section 6-1, property maintenance, and Section 6-2, weeds. True, accurate, and unaltered copies of the pictures taken on the date of first site inspection, June 11, 2025. The notice of violation was sent certified mail on June 18, 2025. Affidavit of notice of violation and posting, copy of certified mail receipt, and photos of the notice of violation posted on site on June 18, 2025, and on Town Hall. Please accept this into the record.
It's been accepted, thank you.
Exhibit C contains an affidavit of noncompliance and photos. I performed a re-inspection on the subject property on August 20, 2025. After NOV compliance date before hearing in the subject property was still in violation of the Town of Fort Myers Beach ordinance. Please accept this into the record.
Yes, it's been accepted, thank you.
Exhibit D contains the Town of Fort Myers Beach Code sections in violation. Chapter 6-1, Section 303.1, Chapter 6-1, Section 303.2, Section 6-1, and Section 6-2. Please accept this into the record.
He's been accepted, thank you.
Reverend David A. TR for David A. River Trust, the property owners were given 30 days to come into compliance with the Town of Fort Myers Beach ordinance, which was on or before July 18, 2025.
Do you have an E?
Yes, I was going to get to that
Oh, I
right now.
thought that's what you were asking.
You know what I was getting to right now. Exhibit E, final affidavit of compliance. A site inspection was completed again on September 2nd, 2025, and the subject property was in compliance. Please accept into the record this affidavit of compliance and photos of the inspection.
You're saying it was in compliance?
Yes, compliance.
Okay, good. All right.
Okay. As a result of the subject property owner's compliance with the town ordinances, Chapter 6-1, Section 303.1, swimming pools, Chapter 6-1, Section 303.2, enclosures, and Section 6-1 and Section 6-2, and based on my sworn testimony and evidence that has been presented to you, including the exhibits within the agenda packet, on behalf of the town of Fort Myers Beach, would like to ask for a $250 administrative fee to cover the cost of bringing this matter before the special magistrate.
Thank you. Is that all?
That's all, yes, ma'am.
All right, I will issue an order that, with a finding of violation that they did not bring it into compliance within the time specified. I will, in the same order, have a finding that they have now brought into compliance and the property is in full compliance. I will not impose any fine. I will impose a $250 administrative fee for having to bring it before the magistrate and not having brought it into compliance before that.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I think that addresses everything. Is that right? Is there
Yes,
anything else?
yes, that's Your Honor.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right then. And then I guess paid within 30 days.
Sir.
Perfect. Excellent.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Anything else? Okay, so, the next case, number 2025-0372, property owner Dinan Marie, that's Life Estate, property address 3111 Shell Mound Boulevard. Do we have a respondent present?
Good morning, Terry White, Town of Fort Myers Beach.
All right, you can proceed.
Good morning, Terry White, Town of Fort Myers Beach. I've been with the town for over a year with 23 years prior experience in another jurisdiction. I've been sworn in and will provide testimony and documentations for case number 20250372. The documentation is attached to this agenda as exhibits, and we ask that all documentation be accepted in as evidence.
Exhibits A through D submitted electronically. I've reviewed them and they remain admitted. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am, thank you. The subject property that we're discussing today is 3111 Shell Mound Boulevard, Fort Myers Beach, Florida 33931. Exhibit A contains a notice of hearing and photos of the violations sent July 23rd, 2025, affidavit of notice of posting, copy of certified mail receipt, and photos of the notice of hearing posted on July 23rd, 2025, on site on July 24th, 2025, on Town Hall in the Town Hall book. The documentation that the respondents, Mary Dion, owns the real property and the subject of this code enforcement case is included in Exhibit A, copies of the Lee County property appraisers and a copy of the Lee County tax collectors notice, both showing ownership of this property. I've also included a copy of the Orange County property appraisers page for the owner's son's property, where the notice was also mailed to. The notice of hearing certified mail green card has not been returned. True and accurate unaltered copies have been marked as Exhibit A and accepted into the record. On April 16th, 2025, I, Code Enforcement Officer Terry White, observed Marie Dion in violation of the Town of Fort Myers Beach Code of Ordinances, specifically Section 6-2Q, Section 110.0, R, and Sections 110.3W, Sections 302.4. The property in disrepair is in disrepair, including but not limited to missing doors and windows, overgrown lot, vegetation debris, fallen fence, and junk. And true and accurate unaltered copies of the pictures that were taken during my first inspection, April 16th, 2025. Notice of violation that was sent certified mail on April 18th, 2025. Affidavit of notice of violation and posting. Copy of certified mail. The green card was never received, the certified mail green card. And photos of the notice of violation posted on site on Town Hall on April 22nd, 2025 have been marked as Exhibit B, like boy, and accepted into the record. I performed a reinspection on July 23rd, 2025, and the property was still in violation of the Town of Fort Myers Beach ordinances, and an affidavit of noncompliance and photos of that inspection are marked as Exhibit C and accepted into the record. The Town of Fort Myers Beach Code sections, Article 1, Property Maintenance, Division 1, International Property Maintenance Code, Section 6-2Q, Section 110.1 R, Section 110.3 W, Section 302.4 are marked as Exhibit D and accepted into the record. The property owner, Marie Dion, was given 30 days to come into compliance with the Town of Fort Myers Beach ordinances, which was on or before May 18th, 2025. As a result, the subject property owner's failure to bring this property into compliance with the town sections of the code provided in Exhibit D, and based on my testimony and the evidence that has been presented to you, excuse me, including the exhibits with the packet agenda on behalf of the Town of Fort Myers Beach, we'd like to ask that an order be issued. I have an affidavit of non-compliance. I did an inspection this morning. The property is still not in compliance. But in additional note, the property owner has since applied for a permit to demolish the building, which is good news, but the grass is still tall, there's still garbage, debris, and the building is still wide open. So we would like to ask, this is Exhibit E, affidavit of noncompliance, including the pictures that were taken this morning by myself. And we'd like to, again, ask for an order and administration fee of $250 for bringing this to the hearing.
Do you know when the permit was, when they applied, do you know how long ago?
The permit date is 8/18/2025. And it was issued on 8/21/20, August 21st, 2025, it was issued. It was for the demolishing of the home, demolition,
Okay.
which is not what code was asking to have been, to do. We basically asked for the property to be secured and to be cleaned up. But again, like I said, on a good note, they've at least applied for a demolition permit.
Okay. Have you had any communications, I mean, obviously, they look to be demolishing the home, they've submitted something, but have you had any communications with the respondent about this?
About the hearing?
About this violation?
Oh, yes, I spoke to the son. That's why I included the Orange County Property Appraiser's printout, because I had spoken to the son several times, and then we just sort of came to a dead end, because I even called him before I scheduled the hearing to sort of push him along, let him know that the shape of the building and that nothing had been done. And that was the last communication that I had with him. And that was, like I said, pre-scheduling the hearing. So June, July, early July. And then,
The demolition, the permit you said was already issued to demolish,
yes, ma'am.
so they can demolish it.
No, this morning the property is in the same condition.
Right, but I'm saying that they're good to go to demolish.
Yes,
If the building is demolished, then the rest of it would be to basically get the lawn in order.
and remove the debris and the fencing that's falling, and there's garbage and chairs and things just laying all over. Hopefully the demolition will take care of that, but that's not always true. Sometimes the company just goes in and removes the building and then leaves.
All right, I'll issue an order to bring the home into compliance within the next 3 weeks, which would include they need to demolish or secure the property, remove all the debris, fencing, junk, the grass, and all of those things. But whether or not they demolish the building, those things are going to be addressed.
Yes, ma'am.
I will do the 3 weeks. And if for whatever reason they're unable to get somebody to demolish it by then, they would have to at least secure the building by then. Okay, good.
Yeah, because the permit doesn't expire until February 14th, 2026.
Okay. Right, so either demolish or secure as needed, and then take care of the rest of the items, which they don't need to demolish to secure, I mean, to do.
Yeah.
Fine will begin to approve on the 25th, if those items are not addressed. I will put that on my list for the Senate, which I'll ask the town to please be prepared at the next hearing to identify what, if anything, still needs to be done.
Okay.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And if the property's not clear or secured, and if all those things are addressed by the 24th, then the fine will be approved on the 25th, and then you also have the admin fee.
Got you.
Okay, I'll issue an order accordingly. Okay. Is there anything else that needs to be addressed?
No, ma'am, not on this case.
So that's it for that one. I'm going to go ahead and call the next case. That's 2024 00691, Andrew Rubina, property address 5560 Avenida Pescadora. Do we have a respondent present?
We do, Your Honor. This is Andrew Rubina. I'm very pro se.
Okay. And who's here for the town?
Terry White with Town of Fort Myers Beach Code Compliance.
Let the town may proceed.
Good morning again, Terry White with the Town of Fort Myers Beach Code Compliance. I've been here for over a year with 23 years experience elsewhere. I've been sworn in and will provide testimony and documentation for case number 20240691. Documentation is attached to the agenda as exhibits, and we ask that all documentation be accepted as evidence.
Okay. Mr. Rubina, have you reviewed exhibits A through D?
Your Honor, I'm having a little bit of difficulty hearing, but I am aware of the violation notices, if that's the question.
No, the question is, did you review exhibits A through D that were online?
I'm sorry. Did I what?
Is that the mic that I mean, that one? No.
No,
Can you say it maybe, Terry?
Have you, this is Terry White again, have you reviewed exhibits A through D that are online?
am I refuting them?
Have you reviewed them?
Yes, I have viewed them. Yes, viewed them.
Any objection to them?
I am not contesting the violation. What I am suggesting is that there is a permit in the works, permit 251665.
Sir, I'm just asking, as far as the exhibits are concerned, you'll have an opportunity to talk about your defense. Right now, I just want to know if you've reviewed it and if you have any objection to what these documents are.
I don't have any objection to the documents per se, no.
Okay, thank you. Okay, they will be admitted. I reviewed them and they'll be admitted. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
The subject property that we're discussing is located at 5560 Avida Pescadora, Fort Myers Beach, Florida 33931. Exhibit A contains the notice of hearing and photos of the violations sent on August 13th, 2025. Affidavit and notice and posting, copy of the certified mail, and photos of the notice of hearing posted on July 30th, 2025 on site and on Town Hall. The documentation that the respondents Andrew, I'm going to say it wrong, sorry, Rukavian, owns the real property and that the subject is subject of this code enforcement case, including in Exhibit A is a copy of the Lee County property appraisers and a copy of the Lee County tax collector notice, both showing ownership of the property. The notice of hearing certified mail green card has not been returned. True and accurate unaltered copies have been marked as Exhibit A and accepted into the record. On May 30th, 2025, Code Officer Terry White observed Andrew Rukavian in violation of the Town of Fort Myers Beach Code of Ordinances, specifically Section 6-441, permits required, doing work without permit, including but not limited to installing 2 structures with lighting on either side of the driveway, and installation of driveway pavers and a driveway gate. True, accurate, and unaltered copies of pictures were taken on the date of the first inspection, which was May 30th, 2025. Notice of violation was sent certified mail on May 30th, 2025, and affidavit of notice of violation and posting, copy of the certified mail receipt. The green card was received and signed on 6/9/2025, and photos of the notice of violation posting on site June 3rd, 2025, and on Town Hall on May 30th, 2025 have been marked as Exhibit B and accepted into the record. I performed a reinspection of the subject property on July 30th, 2025, and the property was still in violation of the Town of Fort Myers Beach ordinances. And an affidavit of noncompliance and photos of that inspection are marked as Exhibit C and accepted into the record. Town of Fort Myers Beach Code Sections 6-441, permits required, are marked as Exhibit E and accepted into the record. The property owner was given 30 days to come into compliance with the Town of Fort Myers Beach ordinances, which was on or before June 30th, 2025. As a result, the subject property's failure to bring the property into full compliance with the Town of Code sections provided in Exhibit D, and based on my sworn testimony, the evidence that has been presented to you, included in the exhibit packets on behalf of Fort Myers Beach, we would like to ask for an order to be issued. And I have an affidavit of non-compliance. I will say, as the property owner stated, he did apply for a permit, which is 22-5-1665. The permit is still in review, but that permit was for a paver driveway only, not for the two structures on either side of the driveway, including the electricity that was attached to those structures and the gate that is also subject of this code enforcement violation. So again, a permit is in review still for the driveway, but not for the two structures and not for the gate. So the town did an inspection first thing this morning, and the property is still in non-compliance. And I have an affidavit of non-compliance I'd like to give as Exhibit E.
Okay. I'm not sure how to have, perfect, okay. Mr. Rukavina, do you have the Exhibit E email?
I have the exhibits of pictures of the property and the notice of violation.
Okay, about 5 minutes ago, you received an email for Exhibit E, which is an affidavit of non-compliance and some more pictures. Can you please check for that?
Sure. I have something that came in about at 9:23. This will be presented to the special magistrate.
Is that Exhibit E? Yes. Okay. Do you have any objection to that?
Can I open it just quickly?
You'll have an opportunity to respond, I promise. I just need you to look at this and let me know if you have an objection to the exhibit itself.
No, I don't have any objection to the exhibit. It seems to be in compliance with what is required in that court.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Now, you can proceed. Oh, Exhibit E will be admitted. You can proceed.
Yeah, and the town would just like to ask that an order for non-compliance and to impose the administrative fee of $250 to cover the cost of bringing this before the magistrate.
Okay. Is that it?
We'd like fines as well.
Okay. All right. I'm saying, is that, you good? Okay.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Rukavina, you can proceed.
All right. When I was given notice of the violations, I immediately called the town hall because previous to me constructing any of these items, the pillars themselves, the reference gate and the reference driveway itself, I checked to see if it would be permitted. With the gate, I was told that anything under 100 square feet didn't require a permit. And the driveway, when I called them, I said the driveway is an existing concrete driveway that I just put bricks on top. The pillars themselves, I'm not aware that they're in violation. They seem to be behind the easement. However, I'm taking note of these violations, and I have a permit in place, and the permit does, contrary to what was stated by Terry, it does request also that, and for the village, by the way, the village indicated that I should include it, but it does request for permitting on the pillars as well as the gate, as well as the driveway, all in the same permit. That permit is pending. Marilyn Silva was hopeful that it would be issued before the hearing today, but it has not been. But I'm waiting for notice that it is, that it has been approved. And if it has, I will submit that to the board. But if it hasn't, I will perform whatever other requirements they are requesting under whatever response they give me to the permit application. So I'm attempting to be in compliance, and for quite some time I wasn't quite aware that I was in violation given my previous conversations with the town.
Okay, thank you. Do you have a reply?
Yes, so to prepare for the hearing, I went onto our website this morning and did click on the permit that he's discussing, and I told you that was still in review. And the scope of work that he turned in definitely says brick paver overlay, existing driveway, plus 2 small pillars and a gate. But the notes in the actual permit itself that the town put in there is for driveway only. Driveway only. And again, it's in review, but it's for the driveway only.
Do you have any of those, anything that you want to submit as evidence based on what you're discussing right now? Any notes or anything you pulled?
I can. I mean, I can give you this permit that I actually, it's marked up just because I wanted to remind myself what to look at. But there was a notice of commencement turned in on 8/25/2025, and that passed. It's in review for zoning. Owner affidavit's been turned in because he's pulling it as owner builder, I'm pretty sure. Yes, owner builder.
Okay. I mean, if you have any documents that you want me to look at.
I can give you this if you don't mind that it's been marked up.
I don't mind, but we will need to make a copy. And
I can get you a nicer copy of it if you'd like to.
Or we need to get it to him. What is it?
It's just a copy of the permit that he and I were talking about for the driveway only, showing it's in review and that it was applied for.
You want to mark that as Exhibit F?
That would be great. Yes, please.
Do you have 2 copies? Or is this it? Let's take it. We'll take it.
Your Honor,
Yes.
I have sent a copy of the permit that I submitted to the email that sent me the affidavit of non-compliance just now, which includes all the pages of the permit, and it does show that all 3 items are included in the permit. And I don't know if this was stated because I couldn't quite hear, but I did file and record the notice of commencement as well.
Yes, she mentioned that. Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna take. Oh, well, I guess if we submitted.
I haven't seen it yet.
Okay, give us a second for that to come in. And we'll remark it as. So hers is F. Okay, we do G, or do you want to start numbers first? Yeah, we can, however you want to mark them. That doesn't matter. But since it's respondents exhibit. Yeah. All right, we're gonna mark your email submission as respondents exhibit 1. And All right, you just give us a minute, we're gonna print it out, okay? Can you print it? So it takes it out. Scan it. Okay. We're gonna keep going.
We're getting a copy, but
And we get one more page.
I think it's basically the same as this right here.
Okay. All right. I will take all these documents and look at them and take them under advisement. I'm not gonna rule today because I want to take a good look at what those items are. But before I do that, I'm gonna give you the opportunity to review it and make any comments on that, okay? I'm not gonna just, it's just hang on. But I do want to look at that in more detail as the entire permit.
I've been told by permitting as well, Tracy and I were talking to each other, that he would need to apply separately for the driveway gate and pillars. It can't be, that's why this is driveway only. That's what I've been told.
Okay.
If I may, Your Honor, I was told to put them all on the same permit.
Okay.
All right, well,
Well, hang on so that we can get you a copy of it. And you can look at it.
But I do imagine that if there is an issue with the permit itself, that they'll advise me of the same, and I'll have to correct it at that time.
Right. The one that she met has to be scanned in, but I think it's, did you get that tonight? Mr. Rukavina, you should have received an email, which is Exhibit F.
Correct.
Not yet, but I'll refresh.
Okay. Let me know when you've received that.
Yes, I'm looking.
Thank you. Do you have-
I see it, Your Honor.
Okay, just take a look at it and let me know if you have any objection to it, Exhibit F, and also you'll have an opportunity to respond.
I don't have any objection to it. It does include the language that the scope of the work is the brick paver overlay of existing driveway plus 2 small pillars and 1 gate. So it seems to be all included in there.
Okay, thank you. All right.
I will make a note, though, on the notice of commencement, which is on page... Page 6, notice of commencement. 2, general description of improvement, paver bricks over existing driveway.
Say that again?
The notice of commencement, number 2,
Okay,
general
yes.
description of improvements. So he only received an NOC for the paver driveway.
Okay. I'm going to take a look at all of this and take it under advisement. Mr. Rukabina, did you hear what you said?
The last part, not quite, no.
Okay, she said that the notice of commencement, item number 2 on page 6, shows that the NOC was only for the driveway itself.
I'm not aware of that.
Okay, so I'm going to take, like I said, I'm going to take this under advisement and I'll issue an order. I have 15 days to do so. You'll get an order before then. But in the meantime, I would recommend that you make sure you contact the town and ensure that everything is in order for all the items. It looks like you understand what all of those items are. Just make sure that whatever permitting you're doing is going to cover them all, and if you need to make any adjustments, that you get that going, okay?
Yeah, I see the notice of commencement, and she's correct in stating that it does say paver bricks over existing driveway. I'm going to call the town and see how I can modify that or supplement that.
Okay, in the meantime, I will get an order issued on my ruling within the next 15 days. I will not issue a ruling today. I need to look at this a little deeper, okay?
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.
Are we adjourned at this point?
Is that all from the town on this one? Yes, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
You are good to go. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. All right, have a good day.
You too. All right. I'll call case number 2024-0936, property owner Bryce, I hope I say this right, Bryce and Barbara Gissi? Easy. Oh, I was so not close. Okay. Property address 126 Anchorage Street. Do we have a respondent on this one? Okay. Sorry about that. Is the town ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You may proceed.
Again, Terry White, excuse me, Town of Fort Myers Beach Code Compliance Officer. I've been sworn in and will provide testimony and documentation for case number 2024-0936. The documentation is attached to the agenda as exhibits, and we ask that all documents be accepted into evidence.
Exhibits A through D, I have reviewed them and they will be admitted.
Okay. The subject property is located at 126 Anchorage Street, Fort Myers Beach, Florida 33931. Exhibit A contains the notice of hearing and photos of the violations sent on July 31st, 2025. Affidavit of notice and posting, copy of the certified mail receipt, and photos of the notice of hearing posted on August 1st, 2025 on site and on Town Hall. The documents that the respondents, Giese, Bryce, and Barbara, are the owner of the real property, the subject of this code enforcement case, included in Exhibit A. Also, a copy of the Lee County tax property appraisers and a copy of the Lee County tax collector tax notice, both showing ownership of the property. The notice of certified mail green card has not been returned, and true and accurate unaltered copies have been marked as Exhibit A and accepted into the record. On November 8th, 2024, I, Code Officer Terry Wyke, observed the property in violation of the Town of Fort Myers Beach Code of Ordinances, specifically Section 6-441, permit required. Doing work without permits, including but not limited to new window installation, lower level improvements, and exterior improvements, including porch and stairs. True and accurate unaltered copies of the pictures taken on the date of the first inspection, November 8th, 2024. Notice of violation was sent certified mail on November 14th, 2024, and an affidavit of notice and posting, copy of certified mail receipt. The notice was returned unclaimed. Photos of the notice of violation posting on site on November 15th, 2024, and on Town Hall on November 14th, 2024, have been marked as Exhibit A and B like boy, and accepted into the record. A status of compliance. I performed a reinspection of the property on June 18th, 2025, and the subject property was still in violation of the Fort Myers Beach Town of Ordinances, and an affidavit of noncompliance and photos of the inspection are marked as Exhibit C and accepted into the record. Town of Fort Myers Beach Code Section 6-441, permits required, are marked as Exhibit D and accepted into the record. The property owners were given 30 days to come into compliance with the Town of Fort Myers Beach ordinances, which was on or before December 15th, 2024. As a result, the subject property owner's failure to bring the property into full compliance, which is with the Town of Ordinance Town Code sections, which were provided in Exhibit D, and based on my sworn testimony and evidence that has been presented to you, including in the exhibits within the agenda, on behalf of the town, that we'd like an order to be issued, ask that an order be issued. I have a Exhibit E, affidavit of noncompliance, and photos taken this morning, and nothing has changed at the property. I will, however, say that the property owner did have a permit all along for certain things, but none of them included the lower level being as it is today. The lower level, the permit that I'm talking about, there was a 2023 permit that the building official approved to be combined with a 2018 permit, and that permit number is 181692, which is for the house structure to be elevated and new concrete slab. The permit itself was issued, but the problem is, and I'll include it, well, maybe give it to you as a separate exhibit, F like Frank. The permit was issued for a knee wall on the lower garage area.
On what wall?
Knee. So, which means it would have been about 36 inches tall or somewhere in there. But what the property owner did was actually enclose the entire lower level, adding windows. As you can see, which I'll give you the affidavit of noncompliance, or you may already have it from today's pictures, and the other photos from the notice of violation and the notice of hearing, etc. The entire lower level has been enclosed. So what was approved was only partial wall, and it didn't include windows, and there are some other issues, but if the property owner were to apply to have the lower level approved, some of the things on the site plan that he turned in was to have a washer and dryer, a shower, and a bathroom in the lower level, which we would never be able to approve because of flood regulations and FEMA regulations. So at this time, the property owner is still in violation. And like I said, I have an affidavit of noncompliance showing that information.
Have you had any discussions with the respondent, you or the town, related to these violations specifically?
I have not. And I don't know if he's talked to anyone with the town, to be honest.
I'd just like to know their status of discussions about it.
Sure.
Sometimes.
We'd prefer to talk to people and assist them, but not, in this case, I haven't spoken with anyone.
Okay, so let me just get this, make sure I have it right. They would need to submit for a permit for the closure of the lower level and whatever else in there. And anything that does not get approved, they would need to remove.
Correct.
Okay.
Mhm.
And you're saying that they did have a permit for the construction, it just, they did things a little differently.
Correct.
Okay.
Mhm.
The scope of the permit that they would need to apply for is just for the downstairs, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, and you said you started saying we're asking for an order and then you went back, so.
Oh, sorry. Order and fines, if that's okay with you, if you decide, and the $250 administrative fee for bringing it to the hearing.
Did you have another, you said you were gonna submit an exhibit F?
Yes.
Okay, can I see it? Please? Thank you.
I have another one.
Oh, perfect. Thank you.
And this information was given to me by our floodplain manager. As you can see, the red, what I'll call squiggly lines, are things that the town will not be able to approve. The washer, dryer stacked in the shower.
Okay. And they have not submitted a permit for this yet, you're saying?
Correct.
They haven't started that, okay.
Well, they did apply for, and a permit was issued, but it didn't include the total enclosure at the lower level.
What is this from? Their original permit?
Yes.
This is another one of these I'm gonna have to take and look into,
Sure.
and I'll take it under advisement and issue an order within 15 days. I wanna take a close look at this.
Sure.
And then if there's any instruction as well, I'll include it in the order.
Okay.
But and just make sure that I understand that they did have a permit, they went outside that scope. And
Scope
there
of-
would be items that would probably not be approved.
Absolutely.
Nevertheless, they're gonna have to submit a permit for everything or remove it. Okay?
Correct, yeah.
All right, I'll take a look at it and take it under advisement and issue an order once I'm able to get a good look at these things.
All right, thank you.
And we'll take it from there, okay?
Okay, and then I have an update on the first cases that we were discussing.
Okay, let me just get back to that. Before we close out this one, just a quick question. The squiggly lines were not what was submitted, that was added by you, not by the town?
Yes,
Yeah,
by the
okay.
floodplain manager.
All right, thank you. All right, that's it. So then we're going back to, you say Robertson? So
yes.
240736. We said we were gonna come back to that. I was gonna ask whether or not we have the copies that we needed to get. Or the copies.
Yes, so I went and spoke to permitting after we had discussed this, and So the town was stating that there was, that the property owner was still in non-compliance, and the property owners had a list of things that they said that they had turned in and checked off. And I went and spoke with permitting, and the whole list that I discussed, plus the list that they had checked off, that they had turned everything in, the town has not received any of it. So if you like, because
I would like that list, but they left.
I can give you the list that we sent to them, telling them that everything that they needed, I have that list if you'd like it.
Yeah. We are on exhibit. For the status one. No, so we're not doing something.
We didn't make E, so this is going to be
Okay, so it's done.
E. This is an affidavit of non-compliance, but you didn't ask for this to be submitted, so.
Right, because I believe
Oh, yeah. we're
the
still
magistrate
on.
just wanted me to,
But they left, so. Yeah, so, okay, so, all right, what do you want to admit? Go ahead.
the list of things that were sent to them on June 4th, 2025,
Okay.
that they have as well. And as I said, I double checked and they haven't turned in any of it. And permitting told me it's been quite slow for the last month, so if it were to have come in, they definitely would have received it.
Okay, so the list, we didn't have any, at all, any exhibits admitted because the only thing that we had online was the, not on this one. Oh, this is the status. So there's just an affidavit of non-compliance and the code enforcement order from June 6th. All right, so
They left.
that's okay, they left, that's on them. We didn't close up the hearing. All right, so then we'll have this as, this I know is Respondents Exhibit 1.
Correct.
Okay, so we have Respondents Exhibit 1. We have the list as the town's, well, I guess Exhibit 8 is the current mark. Do you want to admit anything else?
I don't think so at this time unless we're going to
The affidavits?
affidavit of non-compliance.
Yeah, you didn't mark them. You mentioned them, but you didn't mark them. Okay.
This one.
I don't know, she hasn't said.
The affidavit of non-compliance.
You mentioned it, but you didn't.
Oh, sorry, I didn't give it to you guys this morning.
Yes, it's there.
So what do you want to do with it?
I'd like to present it as an affidavit of non-compliance.
Okay, so mark it as B. And we'll admit it as B. Okay, so I'll take a look at this. I think the order has fines accrued if not by July 5th. So I'll take a look at this and the previous order and I'll enter an order. Because if it's really all of these items, then they're not in substantial compliance. But I will ask that the town continues to work with them to make sure that they keep
I'll email
moving
them.
forward.
I'll
Okay?
email them after the hearing is finalized and just let them know that we haven't received any of that. Maybe they've been sending it to the wrong email.
Okay.
I don't know.
So as of right now, I'm going to take this under advisement. I will issue an order after I look at all of this stuff If I find that it's not substantial compliance, because it's a majority of the items, because I'm gonna wanna compare it to the original evidence, then I'll issue an order that they were not in substantial compliance and begin the fines. If not, then the opposite will be true, okay? I'll say that we're still working on them and I'll give them another benchmark.
Okay.
Those will be the two options, okay? And
In the
I'll-
meantime, I will reach out to them, though.
Yes, I would ask that you at least communicate with them to help them with it along,
Yes, ma'am.
okay? Then that's it for that one, right? And we were not gonna go back to Sullivan, or we were? Okay.
With Sullivan, that's Bayview, I did talk to permitting, and he can do a revision, which I believe that's the last thing that he said, that he was going to do a revision to include
Permitting
the
is in
wooden
review.
decking.
Yes.
So he is going, we will allow that revision, so if he moves forward,
Okay,
then,
I'll issue an order then with a new benchmark to make sure that he gets everything in for that part. Because I do feel that he has done substantially what he needs to do in order to come to compliance. So
At least
I'll give him-
applied.
I'll enter an order with a new,
So you no longer want him, that's not correct?
yes, I do.
Okay,
But I'm saying the order will have instructions,
got it.
so. But yes, I do want him next time to come. And hopefully by then, everything will have been submitted for the whole thing.
I hope so.
Okay.
Mhm. Yes, ma'am.
That's it for those, right? Is there anything else then the town has?
No, ma'am.
No? Okay. Okay, then we'll close this out and we can adjourn.
Grab your copies of that. Out here.
Is this on?
It is now.
Okay.
I was making sure you were actually adjourning and not just saying.
No, I am. But